We're going, Dave.
We're going. Hey, everybody, it's Dave.
And Dave.
And together we are Twin Linked. Well, so nothing too exciting happened the last couple of weeks. You know, we've been hanging out, took a break from Warhammer, tried to gather ourselves, and lies.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. How long are you in Las Vegas? 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, man, that was awesome. So we just got back from the LVO, and let me just say, I had a fantastic time. It was fantastic, Dave.
Boy, my arms are tired. We
just
drove, we
flew
didn't
in.
fly.
Oh, man, but it was great. You know, this is our third time doing the LVO, Dave.
It's
and
epic.
Epic,
I
right?
feel like we were infants, and we're just learning to walk now.
Well, yeah, man, we're really starting to gain our footing. I definitely feel like we're improving on our shoutcasting out there. I mean, we're interrupting the games a little bit more, trying to get you folks, the watchers, a little more information as we go along through it. And Dave, when we got back, I even did a shout out on one of the 40K Facebook pages and asked for some nice constructive criticism, a little feedback.
Which one was that?
It was competitive 40K. Competitive.
They don't allow me on there.
Not yet, anyway. We're trying to sneak him in the back door. But anyway, yeah, everyone seemed to really enjoy the shoutcasting, and actually most folks asked for a little bit more, if we can enunciate a little bit more about what's going on in the game. So hopefully next year we might take it up a next step. We might be wearing active mics like they do, like, you know, when they call NFL games and stuff like that, Dave. So we don't have to worry about switching volume controls and everything out. We might just be able to temporarily override the players' discussion and get in there and get some talk going.
Big league.
Big
Going
league.
to the big league.
That's right. That's right. So, hey, you know, we sure appreciate everybody's feedback. If you want to reach out to either of us, either at the comments on the bottom of our YouTube page or go to Facebook, and you can find Dave Singer or
Dave Berletic, there's not a lot of us.
Common Spelling. Hey, yeah, and then just leave us a message. Send me a message. Tell me what's going on. And we appreciate it. We prefer even constructive criticism. Yeah, my ego can take it. It's not that big of a deal. So if you have something that you would like to see that maybe we didn't, and we don't control camera angles or stuff like that, we
Maybe
know
something you want to hear.
Yeah, or maybe something you want to hear, just let us know. We'll do the best we can for you.
So they enjoyed it.
Yeah, we got some
And
real
I
positive
enjoyed
feedback.
it.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
That's a win-win-win.
That's a triple win. Well, that's better than I did in Vegas. Lucky
That's
at 40K, unlucky at cards.
Luckily, it was all day, every day. So we were able to save some gas money and make it home.
Yeah, it is a long day of work. When we're doing that, we stand by the tables, we're taking notes, and it's a good 11-hour day plus or minus every single day we're there. So it is a lot of work.
I sit a lot, but by the table.
Yeah, that's true. I like to stand a little bit more, but hey.
I got back a little bit as we got to day 3. But that's what we're going to talk about today, aren't we, Dave?
Well, you know, let's invest a little bit in our time. Let's invest a little bit in our time so people can understand the differences. So we broadcast a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 games on the Twitch feed. 9 games. So
over 3 days.
That's right. The first 2 games, or the first 2 days, I'm sorry, are just normal tournament days. Randos. You know, Pablo goes out there. He tries to fish some great opponents for us to have on the stream. You know, we're looking for fully painted, nicely painted armies, guys that, you know, most likely won't feel too uncomfortable to be willing to talk. We had some.
It's voluntary.
It is, but
It's
we
voluntary.
had some industry stars, I think you could say.
Big names.
Yeah.
Big names, Dave.
We had like Goat Boy, who writes all the time, right? We had Phil, the Glacial Geek, on there,
That
who's
was awesome.
also super, you know, outgoing people. We had Brett Perkins, winner of last year's, you know, last year's
Don't
LVO.
get too close to him. He karate punched me because he was waiting too long for his opponent.
That's right.
Who was a not as well-known a player.
No.
But was happy to get on the stream anyway.
Heck yeah, man. If you go to LVO and you have a nicely painted army, even if you're a semi-casual person, you gotta love the idea that you can go play on the stream against maybe one of these known people, maybe against someone like Brett Perkins. And man, what a great way to spend your Las Vegas Open, right?
Just don't let him karate punch you.
Yeah. So hey, maybe next year, if you think you got a great army, you know it forward and back. Don't go on there if you're just a noob and you have no idea what you're doing. But if you feel comfortable, let Pablo know, man. Maybe he'll put you up there, right? Yeah, 10-4. All right, so let's talk about a slight contrast between day 1, day 2, and then day 3. Day 3 is the championships. We have the top 8 players coming in there. Dave, let's talk about that. How does that feel when those people first show up in the morning?
Well, we worked up to it because day 2, we were getting people that were still in it. right?
Oh yeah, that's
They
true. That's true.
They had 5. You know,
Yeah, there's some aggressive play going on day
for the
two.
most part, they were undefeated.
Right.
But they're still just halfway through.
Right.
By the time we get to Sunday, it's 8.
It's 8.
It's just 8.
And let me tell you what, when those people come in for the first time and they get the draw to go on the stream, they come over where we're at and have their armies. I mean, you can see that nervous tension to be so close to claiming victory for the LVO. And in the case of several of the opponents, having a great chance, if not the chance, to take the entire ITC season. I mean, these are experienced vets, Dave, and they're coming up there, their hands are shaking, they're nervous, they got that weird kind of laughter going on, right?
2 games away to play for the championship come Sunday morning.
That's it.
It's a big deal. They know that's all they got to do. And they've played that thing already 6 times since they've been there.
Yes.
And who knows how many times before they got to Las Vegas.
The amount of practice hours those guys are putting in to get there,
Tired
right?
of looking at those things.
Yeah, you know, it's very hard to come in there and just be some rando that plays in like 2 tournaments at their local RTT and then shows up at LVO, makes it to the top table. That, I don't know if that's going to happen. Every single one of those guys up there was in the semi-pro, pro category.
It's not going to happen, Dave.
Yeah, those guys are trained professionals. So let's go through the day real quick. We had the great first game with Nick Nadavati and Jeff Poole that we showed on a live stream. Jeff got first turn. I think he seized on Nick on that first turn.
A.K.A. Dirty.
That's right, Jeff Dirty Poole.
Jeff Dirty Poole.
And he went across there with those flyers, and he surrounded Nick's wave serpents in the corner. And boy, I thought he had a good shot. And he came out and boom, blew up one of those wave serpents.
It's like the dogs
right away.
It's like the dogs treat them.
Right.
It's got them treed, but you don't want to treat Eldar, I guess.
Well, they all got out. They all went to the building, and then the destruction happened. And he talked about it later on, that he would have been better off trying to use those flyers to block off his entry points for those Shining Spear bikers that came in later. If he would have blocked off and cordoned off their entry, then they would have shown up too far away to get quickened and a lot of those bonuses that the Eldar get to put on their units.
Yeah, and then he's just got to deal with, a dozen Reapers.
Right. But
Carolina Reapers. Those are the hottest chilies, man.
Carolina Reapers.
Hot chilies.
Oh, man. So it was a good game. It was fun to watch. Nick, consummate professional, man. He, I think I would have floundered and perished under Jeff Poole's dice, but Nick Nadavati pulled it out fairly well, right? Mm-hmm. He worked it pretty good. The second game was another intense game between Tony Grappando and Alex Fennell.
You may have heard of it.
Very
competitive game.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to go too deep into it. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard all about it 1,000 times, but I just want to relate our experience to be right there at the table. We're watching the whole game go down.
We're down to 4 players now.
Right. We're down to 4 players.
We've got how many Eldar armies in the top 4?
3 out of 4, right?
3 out of the 4.
Yeah.
So we got Alex Fennell playing.
Well, it was Imperial Soup. They claimed it was
I think it was
kind of a Space Wolves.
It was Imperial Stew.
It was an Imperial Stew, exactly.
It was solid.
Oh, yeah.
Chunky soup, maybe.
Yeah, and, here it comes in with this unusual list. All these other guys have been playing against all these different Eldar combinations. They're not surprised by that kind of stuff. But what is this? Wolf Lords and Blood Angels captains and Cyber Wolves. It was ridiculous with a little Astro Military mixed in. Little kisses. So it was this crazy mixed up soup. And, man, you could just feel it. They were excited to play. You could feel that Tony was he was wary about this older, wise Warhammer player.
Riley.
Yeah.
The first winner of the Las Vegas Open.
That's correct. So, I mean, he's such an established character in the community. Not that Tony's not. Tony is well known
Tony's a stud.
in the entire world and a super nice guy. And so we're sitting there watching this game unfold, and then
this, they split an atom or something. I don't know. Something went off.
Oh, dude, it was an explosive moment. And you're standing at the table, and
I got back.
Right? Yeah, I physically
got back.
took a step back, oh my God, did that just happen?
What's happening?
What is happening right now? And it was that intense. It was so cool to be there. I hopefully one day, and I was talking to Reese about this, one day we need to have this set up like the World Series of Poker. When you get down that room, when you got maybe 100 people just around there where they can see and feel the tension, the excitement going on in there.
Someday we'll all laugh at this event.
Oh man, it was crazy.
It was like it's like It's like this explosion. You could see the shockwave from the table out. We're running back, and then it hits the crew. Like, oh, what did we just see? Because they've got a delay when they're looking at it. It's like 10, 15 seconds.
Yes.
So we're already getting away from the table.
Right.
It's back there, and then all of a sudden there's a judge looking at something.
The judges people are peeking around the corner once they hit the Twitch
Then
stream.
people just start rolling in.
Oh man, it was crazy. And of course, we kept them all back so the players could maintain their business, and
We had to pepper spray them.
they got through it, and it continued on. And both of them, there was a little bit of maybe friction right off the bat, but then they both moved past it and continued
Friction?
forward. Yeah, a little friction, you know.
Yeah, there was that call really changed the course of the game.
Sure, it did.
But it was so impressive to see Alex play on and still have a chance. I'm like, how does he have a chance?
Yeah, he did great work.
It was awesome.
It was still a fantastic game to watch. Enjoyed it top to bottom. Then we moved on. Of course, Tony won. Then we move on to the final game with Tony Crepando, Nick Nadavati. And once again, man, I don't care how they try to sell it one way or the other. They're being polite. They're talking. They're shaking hands. But there was so much tension at that table that round one. Holy cow, Dave. It was like...
I think I got a heart condition from all the salt.
It was great. I mean...
It was awesome.
Any high school sport, anything I ever played, this is so mano a mano. Probably only a sport like wrestling, like, high school, college wrestling would get to this level of nervous tension right before you go out into the
I
mat.
haven't seen anything that intense since Mean Girls.
Oh, man, that was a great movie.
It was.
It was. So, another fantastic game, another gotcha moment, a little reversal of fortune for good old Tony.
Still, it was so entertaining because it was near mirror match.
Right.
There's some talking going back and forth.
A little
and
trash.
I'm going to show you how to play Eldar.
Oh, that was one of my
And
favorites.
it was just great to watch, to see the difference between top tier players, both.
Right.
But one's been playing that army a little longer.
A little bit
and
longer.
It had a difference. It was just like a machine.
Well,
Nasty
I don't know if you guys...
body was like a machine.
I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but Nick just ripped up that right-hand side of the table. I mean, he shifted his whole army forward. He had deep strikers. If you had made that one charge at the end of round one in that assault phase and was able to push, I think it was his Guardians a little bit forward or his Rangers or whatever it was, I don't remember off the top of my head, but he might have closed off the whole board from letting those bright spears come in. He might have been able to totally deny Tony bringing in those reserves. It was just a fantastic piece of generalship. But he failed that one charge, held them back. Tony was able to get that unit in. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. They quickened, they jump across the table, and boom, they're in the heartland of the heartland of Nadavati's army, right?
Heartland of awesome.
Oh man, they're shooting, they're doing everything they're supposed to do. They got all their spells up.
Dropping like flies.
Boom, boom, boom. Here it comes time for the charge.
Eh,
Oh, and the only
a
thing
little
that
tired.
dropped,
It's the 9th game.
the only thing that dropped was Nick Nadavati, who said, "Sorry, Charlie, you're supposed to declare that
Oh yeah.
in the movement phase." And that was the end of that. And we got the judges involved just to make sure because it was so contentious. It was, there's a lot of passion going on. This for the whole kit and caboodle.
Well, we interviewed Nick at the end.
Sure.
And
Tony.
He was candid about it.
Yep.
I can't be a nice guy for $4,000.
Can't, man. It's too much money on the line.
I'll cut you for $10.
Not. I'll perform emergency surgeries. Not to mention
He asked for it, officer.
not to mention the fact that there's money, there's LVO pride. Tony, we sat down for the interview afterwards, and he was a gentleman. He didn't seem to have any hard feelings about it. He understood what went down. He gave us a great post-game interview, and Nick gave us a great post-game interview. And all I can say is I can't wait for next year. There's always a little controversy. There's always a little drama. But it is exciting. And I don't honestly think it affects 97% of the rest of the LVO participants.
No, you're not. There's a time and a place for everything.
Sure.
If you draw Nick Nadavati round 1, it's your first tournament,
Sorry, Charlie.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
and,
soak it up.
Watch.
Right.
Osmosis.
Learn from a
Just
master.
play it. They're gonna help you out.
Sure, yeah.
There may be some cats out there that are gonna be a bit annoyed. Like, why do I gotta play somebody at this level? It's like, hey, it's open to everybody.
Random
Sign up.
draws at the beginning. You might have a chance to submarine. come down, pop up later, get in there. You know, if you go 5-1 at the LVO, trust me, you will be a happy camper.
I'm a one-way submarine.
All the way down. All right, Dave, that kind of wraps it up for the LVO. We had a great year. We want to do a shout out to Frontline, all the folks over there for a great experience.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully, we'll be able to make
Great
it back
job.
again next year and keep you guys entertained. And, you know, maybe elevate our game. We're going to try to elevate the game a little bit every year and try to give you guys what you want and give you a good show. Right, Dave?
Absolutely.
All right.
I was sober the whole time.
And it was great. So let's talk about 2018, Dave. Let's talk about your and my goals going forward. Now, I'm not, my goal isn't to win the LVO. Dave, how about you?
I'd be happy with fourth place
There you go. Hey, that's nice.
at a Hobbytown tournament.
At a Hobbytown tournament. So my goal, I think, for this year is I want to go to a tournament a month, Dave. And it doesn't have to be a big one. I mean, we always go to BAO. I assume we're going to go BAO this year.
Yep.
Hopefully, we'll get down to SoCal. We didn't go last year. We'll try to go this year. So that'd be like our two majors. And then we want to pump in a couple of RTTs floating around there. But our goal is trying to get to a tournament a month, just to get our gear up, to get our experience up, right?
We had a 6-hour drive back from Vegas to Fresno.
Sure.
Talking the whole time about we needed to play. I needed to play. Not competitively. I just needed to play.
If you go to a major tournament and you don't get jonesed up to get out there and roll those cubes, play some games, and
Cubes.
yeah, you like that? That's pretty good.
That was awesome.
Then you're missing out. You're missing out. So yeah, our goal is to play. Or my goal, I think Dave's sharing it. We're going to try to
I'm going
do.
to copy him.
We're going to try to do a tournament a month. We'll tell you guys about it. Our goal is to honestly be a mid-level gamer, and I think that's. You know, I want to do a shout out for Adam Abramowitz. I think he has the Best General podcast. It's a great podcast, and it talks about him and his goals to try to win a major GT. So if you want to be a happy hobbyist, you want to learn how to, not learn, but if you want to, you know, be the guy who likes to paint as well as play, and you're not always chasing the meta, but you want to try to figure out maybe how to be that midline player and just to get maybe 50-50. If I go 501 on my batting average for the year, Dave, I'll be pretty happy.
If I win a game, I'm happy.
So, hey, we're going to share those stories with you. We're going to share our stuff going forward. We might not do quite as many episodes, but we're going to tell you about our armies. We're going to tell you about what we're trying to do and how we do in these RTTs and GTs.
That's our tentative plan for now. We're shooting for one tournament a month.
Right.
And we'll do a show after those tournaments. Talk up our lead up to these bigger tournaments like BAO, SoCal,
right.
LVO.
How we're
gonna
adjusting
throw
our
in another
armies.
one.
Right. So maybe even, Dave, we might do like an episode coming up here pretty soon where we just talk about our army and our army list, and we'll post it up there so you guys can have them and just talk about this is our foundation level. And I might even do some shout outs on Facebook to see if I can get some good advice on how to build. And like I say, I don't need to be top tier, but I'd like to be a medium tier Death Guard / Nurgle army as we go forward into 2018.
Well, this is my whole plan, is to get our viewers to make a list for me, because I suck at it. So I'll make a list. You guys cut it up and say that sucks, and that sucks.
Well, you know, yeah, give an idea, and then we can go from there. So hopefully with your help, we'll do the best we can to bring you a great year of entertainment. If you can't go to these RTTs, we'll go for you. Maybe we'll do some video recording real quick, the little cell phone video recording while we're there, and then we can upload it onto our YouTube stream. So maybe you can talk to the winners, stuff like that, about these tournaments we're going to. I know for sure we're going to get up to Sacramento, our friends up there, pretty soon.
I wouldn't call them friends.
I would. They're great guys.
I'm just kidding.
No doubt. Maybe
Even
Autos.
you, Josh. I remember your name.
Oh, Josh. Maybe Autos.
Josh the Assassin.
I might even go to Autos next Saturday. They're having a tournament down at Autos in
I thought it was
Bakersfield.
this Saturday.
Oh, you're right. It's this Saturday. Wasn't it this Saturday? Next Saturday?
I don't know which one it is. Whatever it is, I'm going to man camp and I can't go.
I know, but I might roll on down there.
But speaking of man camp, we are going to take a table up and we are going to play 40K while camping.
At Frozen Man Camp?
Yep. It's not frozen, Dave.
It won't be warm.
And we're just going to use terrain from like actual terrain.
I'm going to pull rocks and everything
Yep.
off. I love it. That
That's what
sounds
we're gonna
great.
do. That is not legal. It's Games Workshop.
Is it a
Shut up,
building?
fool.
No, it's a real rock.
It's a real ruin, man. I got it off the ground. That's a cow pie. Counts as cover.
Counts as cover. But
Disgustingly
you have to
resilient.
push your model down inside the
It
terrain.
gives you +2 cover for Nurgle.
Oh, I like it.
Chaos. Beautiful. It's disgusting.
Some old meat parts up there, bloody meat parts for corn, maybe.
Oh, That's just getting nasty, but I like it.
That's not a bad idea.
So we're going to start making Army lists and sharing them.
Yes.
Have you had any opportunity to play yet, or you just want to talk about the
I
list
haven't
that-
had about
not since
opportunities
we
since
left.
we came back, but why don't you tell about your
Well, you've been
experiences,
honing
okay?
your list, so you're going to talk about that, right?
Well, I have been painting. So I bought a Great Unclean one because I just think that is about the ballerest model that has come out in a long
That
time.
used to be my nickname, by the way.
So I got it all primed up. I'm
In
hopefully
junior
going to
high.
have it baller or the Great Unclean one.
The Great Unclean One.
Just in junior high?
Yeah. No, by high school I was baller.
So hopefully I'll have that thing all painted up here in about another week or two. I'm a slow painter, but got it all primed. I put my first base coat on it actually this morning, early morning, and we'll get through there. So I love the look of it. I don't know how playable it's going to be. Right now, my Death Guard army, I'm looking at 4 Fetid Blight drones with spitters, a Demon Prince with a spear-rating plate to follow them around.
I hate those blight drones very much.
My front lines are an Alpha Legion Berserker group, deep coming in with Alpha Legion deployment. I also have a World Eaters group of Warp Talons coming in, so I have 2 front guys up front. I have this super mobile, close range shooty melee group chasing up right behind them. So my idea is I have put 2 guys in your face, 2 guys coming up fast from the rear. I have Nurglings out to protect my front, keep a nice little bubble from the Alpha Strikes coming in on me. And then in the back, I have 2 units of Cultists and a small unit of Berserkers. So if someone comes in my backfield and I get pulled away too far and I can't get back there, you got to deal with a group of corn Berserkers running out of the ruins to hack you to pieces.
I've seen it in action. It's like a gang of drunk monkeys with switchblades
Yeah.
and pistols.
Chain switchblades. Yeah, so that's my current army. It's working pretty good for me right now.
Beats me.
I have some ideas that I might change going forward, but we'll see how it goes. Dave, how about you?
So, as I said, on the drive back, 6-hour drive, I'm so excited. I've seen so many new things. Watched 9 games.
Right, yeah.
You know,
Beautiful
and,
armies.
I'm not a great player, but it's starting to click up here of how these things work. So I had originally wanted to play. I play Astra Militarum and I play Orcs, and I said 2018 I'm switching back to Orcs, but I changed my mind on the drive back
Why is that, Dave?
because I kind of, at least a little bit, had the door open to me on how you play Astra Militarum. So I was playing them as, and they're painted tan, playing them as Armageddon,
Right.
We're
Steel
still
Legion,
Legion.
right? Yes.
which is not bad, but the biggest thing. So they're, to me, they're not the best, but I like them. I like the theme.
The fluff is nice
Yes.
for it. The aesthetics are, they're good looking miniatures
And-
with a gas mask and all that kind of
I
stuff.
love it.
It's cool.
But I've been hesitant to mix anything, like mix.
For a long time, you were trying to have this pure army. You didn't really,
Yes.
really want to mix, right?
I didn't want to mix. I'm like,
Stubborn.
I'm referring to my old drinking days. You just don't mix certain things because bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, well.
But watching the players at the LVO and the combinations of things, and a lot of them really work together. A lot of them, there's no fluff to that. It just works well.
right.
So I told you I was going to. I'm bringing every faction to Astra Militarum. I'm not going to tie in any Space Marines or anything. I was saying I'm going to play. I'm going to bring the best of every faction.
Well, you know it's a maximum of 3, right?
Okay, then I'm going to bring the 3 best of every faction.
There
But
you go.
Dave corrected me anyway. He's like, "Well, why don't you just try 2?"
Yeah, you know, it's a lot to learn. So one of the things I learned from the LVO, ladies and gentlemen, I'll share that with you before we sign off for the night, is the value of those stratagem cards that you can get from GW, as well as markers for psychic powers. Now, you don't have to make an act. You don't have to go buy a card, right? We're in a hobby industry. You can make decent cards out of even 3x5 cards. Buy a pack of blank playing cards, whatever you want to do. Write it on there, but to have that option of the ones that you almost always use right there helps you not to forget, and then you can put them down by the units you're using them on. That's number 1.
Our ITC champion had them written out.
Right.
And he's like, I know I'm using all these. He's got one for each. He's like, I'm throwing that one there, that
Yep.
one there, that one there.
He
Nice
had
and
the
simple.
psychic
Keep it
powers
simple.
written out, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have cards for my stratagems, and I'm going to have chips for my psychic powers. I like to use poker chips and write them on there, and got a little weight to them and stuff. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to try to do going forward, because I think that helps keep you focused. We saw quite a few times, even on the stream, that people be like, wait, What did I have cast on
Which
that one?
Yeah, you're trying to move so fast.
What stratagem was that over here? And it's so easy to forget or to think you put it on unit X when actually you put it on unit Y. It's just much clearer for your opponent and for you if you have it out there where everyone
And I
can
got
see it.
one more variable with all the orders.
Right.
I'd already
yes.
I made chips for orders, but I didn't have them for psychers, and I don't have them for
Stratagems.
and I need a big placard for my doctrines.
Yeah, doctrines too, right? So that helps you remember all that kind of
Yep.
good stuff. So that's the kind of tools we're going to be using as we go forward. We might even show them here on the stream, or actually we'll probably take a picture of them and put them up there.
The right tool for the job.
Troy can show them. That'll actually be close up for you. It's a little bit easier to see. So that's us going forward. That's us for 2018. We're going to stick around at least one more year, see how this YouTube cast goes.
Not gonna be able to get rid of us, man.
Not that easy. Like Papa Nurgle, we stick around.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Anyway, this is Dave
And Dave.
for Twin Linked. We'll see you later.
I guess so.
Hasta la vista.